the only thing on the agenda really is to go over all of the final reports. So, um, yeah, this is the first time that we're gonna be doing this with a new format. So, bear with us as we're going through. But what I'd like to do is to review each of them, look at each of the key results, and it might take a little too long to try to score each of them. I was thinking that that would be, like, a cool thing to do, but I think it might be, like, a 5-hour meeting if that's the case, like, going over every single OKR in detail, but yeah, I do think that would be good. Just it would take a long time. So, yeah, I think maybe let's do a high level overview of the results of each of the reports. And then also, I'd love to get, feedback on this whole experience, because again, it's the first time we're doing it. I found that it was a little bit painful to go through all of the paperwork, but yeah, it's good to, I guess, do this exercise and collect all of the details. Uh, but yeah, yeah, okay, I see that you're unmuted. Any thoughts before we get started?
So me?
Yeah, I just thought maybe since you were
Oh,
unmuted,
sorry. No,
that's
sorry, uh, yeah, I mean, I agree that the process was painful, but I also think that, there's a lot of potential with, like, LLMs to, ease some of these pain points in the future, but
yeah.
for now, yeah, it's still there's still a little bit more, pain, I guess, and that we we have to go through and, review all this, but, I think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, we'll refine the process as we go. But yeah, let's maybe get started with the Space Engineering Guild. Um, yeah, I can share my screen here. Got it pulled up. Yeah, so there are a lot of OKRs here. I will try to like cover as much ground as I can, I guess, on this. So I think we're missing Rod, but everyone else from the engineering guild is here. Um, so yeah, let's let's just get through this. All right, so uh, yeah, for the space engineering guild, we had I think yeah four major objectives. The first one was this one, the clarifying the ultimate vision and technical feasibility. So yeah, we have this one here, which is the creating the ultimate goal of putting a self-sustaining, self-governing settlement on the moon. Um, I will go through this briefly, but the way that we did this was we had everyone in the guild basically give their perspective on what they think the specification and requirements of the mission would look like. And so we all threw it into a doc. We created a synthesis of all of the visions. I would recommend reading through this. And yeah, we try to do it in kind of more of a bottom up way, and this was intended to basically inform our roadmap. Um, yeah, uh, yeah. I'll skip over this one. This one was Ari's just to you know go over mine real fast. The roadmap, which I'd also recommend going through, um, kind of goes step by step. Like, what does success look like for MoonDAO to achieve that ultimate vision? Um, I would like to pass this through governance at some point as being sort of like the core pillars of our focus going forward. I think that yeah, a major learning, like just going through all of these projects, is that we have our hands in so many different pies all at once that it's hard to stay focused on things that drive the core mission. And so I think that, aligning on what are these, sort of core objectives, would be very helpful for us. So, um, yeah, I won't read through all of this in detail, but, I highly recommend that people go through this, and maybe we can do a more focused session just on this roadmap. But, yeah, we've gone through it a few times in the Space Engineering Guild, and, yeah, I've already spoken to a few of you guys individually on this. I'd like to highlight sort of the major goals that we have here for 2024. Um, so the seeds for this will need to be completed in the next couple. Um, oh, Luffy's saying that he doesn't have access to one of the docs here. Sorry about that, Luffy. Okay, I've just updated the access for that. But yeah, one of them here is to design, build, test, and deploy a physical spacecraft that demonstrates independent long-term technical capability and is operated by MoonDAO, um, with the goal of really opening up space to our community. And something that we've been talking a lot about would be something like a satellite or something. There are ideas about going direct to the lunar surface to open up lunar communications to anyone on Earth. So I think this is a really solid project that to focus our efforts on, and it would have a lot of real world impact in terms of actually creating a open access point for anyone to communicate with a lunar settlement, um, rather than relying on any one nation to operate that infrastructure. Um, Another major project that we have here is the creation of an open world multiplayer 3D environment, such that anyone can create a proposal through MoonDAO's governance to help collectively design a lunar settlement. So something that we struggled with a little bit with the Space Engineering Guild was there's so many aspects to actually creating a settlement. So having a real specific actual vision for what that's going to be isn't going to be something that comes to us overnight. It'll probably take a couple of years at least to really think through all of the considerations. Um, and then a third major objective outlined here is utilizing some of this new generative AI to help scale our governance, our incentives, our project formation, and just generally, clean up our information infrastructure. So I think that there could be a lot of benefits to integrating more of this generative AI into our community. Like efforts like Astrobot that Colin is working on is really awesome, and I think that you know the more that we allow the everyday person to interface with our community in just natural language, the more we open up access to other people. So, like, imagine you could type into a chatbot, "Hey, I'd like to, buy some Mooney," and there's already a plugin with your wallet, and it just, does all of the operations for you, and then you just click sign. Or any other operation that you'd like to do with MoonDAO, it'd be really interesting to just have that UI be, fully in chat. Um, that's this is probably going to be a more long-term type thing. Michi has a lot of great ideas on this. But yeah, I don't want to get too much into the weeds. Another thing here is purchasing a ticket for low Earth orbit. So while we're waiting for the ability to actually go to the lunar surface, a good stepping stone might be to purchase a ticket for low Earth orbit first. But yeah, um, I don't want to go into details on every single objective here. I hope people will take the time to read it. It's quite long, so there are a lot of objectives as you can see. Um, but yeah, I wanted to highlight those at least. Yeah, Ari, do you want to say any words or highlight any of the objectives that you have in here? I think that would be great.
Definitely. Thanks so much. Let me see if I can share my screen.
I will unshare mine here. There we go.
Does that look good for you all? All right. So yeah, thanks Pablo for that introduction. Yeah, really excited for our vision from this space engineering perspective, and it really has a lot of what we'll need from a technical analysis, but also from the business side. So I a big part of what I was leading was around this objective point two, around this broad industry analysis of companies and nations with unique space capabilities and offerings that would help us achieve our ultimate goal. So we have a bunch of documents in here that I recommend that you look towards, and we'll continue to update them through the Discord. And yeah, I think the big key here is that this is a living document. It's updating regularly. An executive summary on these is that we have launch providers, lunar landers, private companies, and satellite manufacturing and services, as well as tourism and international space partnerships. So lots of good links here. We have upcoming missions for all of the work. I also designed a slide deck that you all can read through, and I'd be happy to give this presentation sometime around our engineering. And then additionally, I included some of my research papers more on this, looking at the political regimes, how these countries and spacefaring nations are relating to each other, to the United Nations, looking at the future of space, budgets, as well as private companies, and then lots of resources in there. So yeah, good stuff. And the bottom line, though, I think from this industry analysis is really that it comes down to SpaceX and Blue Origin are the most aligned for our specific mission. There's big industry out there, but when looking at the capabilities of lunar landers and habitats, these are the two clear leaders ahead. That might change in the next few years, but I think that focusing on partnerships with those two companies are big, are most likely to hit our goals there. It did a lot of support for the other objectives, but I want to just also touch on going down to objective 3. Phil, if you're here, you can talk more about the lunar communications and infrastructure. I started to design what a lunar radio station could look like. I think that could be our first real killer app with this communication infrastructure. But something that I've been leading, and unfortunately I don't have for today, is because of the semester time frame. I really designed a university class with my space engineering students. I teach for the Astrobiology Institute, the Earth and Planetary Exploration Technology, and Mechanical Engineering and Earth Sciences. So I really designed and you can see it in here. I designed a mission for our students to come up with a permanent lunar settlement. And they'll actually be doing it from the perspective of NASA and the Artemis countries, Russia and China, and then a DAO. So in May, we'll have those final reports, and really excited to share that with you all. But we have some more resources here that I've developed through my research and notes, and then the LLM robots have been good in synthesizing that. But happy to answer any questions that you all have on the astrobiology, life support systems, habitat design, and then lots of resources down here. So that I think is, in brief, the big things that I want to add. But yeah, we're really excited about this and looking forward to next steps. One other thing I wanted to mention is around bringing in subject experts. We've had a few come to our space engineering, but I also really was focusing on the outward side, and so I've hosted multiple events featuring astronauts. We had this one with the High Seas group, and this was part of the United Nations Outer Space Innovation and advocacy series, and I had MoonDAO listed as a leader. So we had Hank Rogers and the High Seas group. Definitely recommend listening to that. We had space medicine doctors. I hosted one with Charlie Duke and Poppy Northcutt, Richard Garriott, these astronauts at the last Zero G meeting. And then also lectured in addition to those classes at the law school and other groups representing MoonDAO and space engineering. So we're really proud and excited of not just hosting experts, but by sharing MoonDAO and our space engineering a mission with the greater community. So I'll stop there, but happy to take any other questions, and I can pass it off to Manuel if you're here right now.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Good. So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, where do I start? So I was mainly responsible for Objective 5. It was a lot of fun because from day one, I wanted to create this, I would say, basic database infrastructure that we can use to build on top. So this was mainly what I wanted to achieve. And yeah, the objective here was like pretty high level, I would say, to converge decentralized science and open hardware in a way that it benefits us all. And then I started with the first task. I mean, I knew that I will do my best to achieve this, but in the end, it's like everything's ongoing. We got working docs, living docs here. I started out with the challenges in decentralized science. Check it out. Great overview. If you want to know more about traditional science and how DeSci is applicable right now. Also built this database here with all the DeSci tools. I oriented on the official database of DeSci World when I was in chat with them, and then added like more useful resources to this. I also built the Space Tech roadmap. Space Tech papers resource. This is like a cool database where you can just, look up everything that is on the commercial space tech roadmap of NASA, and you can have a look on the resource from Google Scholar, and you have a link to the article, link to the PDF. So I would say pretty comprehensive, and I use these keywords. So you can imagine on the space tech roadmap from NASA, there was like first the segment and then a subsector, and I used the combination of these two keywords to further find out what's relevant on Google Scholar, and then build this database here. So pretty nice if we want to create like workshops or so to filter space papers. This was first task. Second task was to drive more qualified space scientists into our DAO. This was tricky because we had, we were really in the starting point of space engineering good, and we had like no science or great engineering projects, I would say. So I tried to think about, okay, what can I do right now? So I built this list of universities in the States. These are all data from Google Maps, but it's just an orientation also for our members to have a look through this. Maybe have a look, okay, what college or university is in my hometown, and where can I advocate for MoonDAO? So this is cool in a way, and I can do this also for any other country or city if requested. So please feel free to reach out. And this is like the task that I set myself up to because I wanted to get to know more about space entrepreneurship and how we can also not only attract more scientists, but also bring them the topic of entrepreneurship more. So I also inserted some basic startup advice for our members to orient on. Also from the Singularity University, innovation best practices, so that we can also, give this to our members and say like, okay, look, guys, we maybe also want to do corporate innovation. Then you have this overview about how you can innovate in a big corporate, and you can do this with the support of MoonDAO, that you're in a better position to win new clients and onboard them maybe also to MoonDAO for potential partnership, this kind of stuff. And then there are like, pretty straightforward checklists for venture building. It's like comprehensive overview. If we want to hand this out to our members, make like specific projects group out of this. Also, when it comes to DAO building, this is everything related. What also other DAOs did, venture builders did in the past, to hand this over to their communities, and to really build this innovation ecosystem where you can just support the best people, support the best ideas, and hand over the resources, for them to be independent. Beside that, because the task was really to drive more space scientists to MoonDAO. Besides that, I also started a campaign on LinkedIn to win space scientists from NASA from MoonDAO. These were like 277 scientists, and like nearly 70 of them, so 68 here, responded. So 25% response rate. This was fun, and I would love to then onboard them into some form of workshop concept, where we, like I said before, screen maybe space patents or space papers, make some impact assessment or TRL, and then provide them with some hard task to work on. So this was key result 2. The third thing was I also wanted to get to know more, to gather more information about futurists and what their position is if they want to cooperate with a DAO. So I did some customer interviews and found out that, especially for, I would say, self-employed futurists or futurists with their own agency, it's like really important to win new clients. So I think futurists, and later on also IP attorneys, I will talk about that later, might be an option also to participate in our bounty system. If we want to outsource some task, or again, to this topic of innovation management, want to connect some traditional space industries with some cutting edge scenario thinking or future thinking kind of talent pool. This is, I would say, the way to go. And besides the industry databases, I was mainly the database guy. Besides the industry databases, I also started building these future studies and Foresight Institute overviews, where you can just have a good and comprehensive overview about all the future studies institute and Foresight institutions. And we are already in touch with some of them. For example, Foresight Institute, they are also really active in the DAO space and actively support also space. So this is like a lot of potential for collaboration in the future, I would say. And then I also created this step-by-step guide here. It's like science fiction prototyping framework that we can orient on what is actually sci-fi, and then make the reality check with tech screening to see what is actually possible in our nowadays future. And then same thing, that we can hand this over to our members to say, okay, now at least you are able to do your own workshops and maybe onboard more people to this broad topic of future thinking or science and technology studies. So, and these here. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you know, we can't take this long with each of the presentations, or we're gonna be here like 4 hours. You've done incredible work. Like all this is amazing. But yeah, if you can wrap up in the next couple minutes, it'd be good. I hate to cut you off, but I just want to make sure that you know we make space for everyone, and you know, yeah. So
Yeah, so I think I just wanted to wrap up too, because yeah, this is like, just have a look here.
yeah, to be clear, you've done incredible work. Just
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Sure. And especially, you know, I'm not sure if I think the lead lists with like personal information, I think you mentioned that some of the sheets aren't open. Especially, yeah, when it comes to the space scientists here. And this is like, yeah, also needed, because I do not want that everyone has access to like, you know, personal LinkedIn or personal email, you name it. So this was the reason why I closed the lead list with personal information, but the general industry overviews are all open. So click through, and this is everything. Yeah, that from my perspective, we can give our members to orient when they want to create their own 3D models, print them out, some form of guidance in the States or in any other country in the world, and then build this network of hardware prototyping facilities. And if we have something that we want to license out, maybe in the near future, we also got this IP office overview here to reach out, to win them for partnerships, and to build this IP framework globally where we can really be secure, that we are on the safe side if we want to build maybe space hardware and open source. And I think this is critical also for us in the future if we want to develop tech that we do not end up in some bad situation or so. But yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Manuel. Yeah. All right. So I think yeah, we should wrap up on the Space Engineering Guild one. So we've gone through one. I think that we have something like 8 in total. So yeah, let's try to maybe budget 10 or so minutes, 10 to 15 max, you know, per presentation. Yeah, maybe next we can have the community guild. How's that sound? I can pass it over to Mitchie and Muffy. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I can start. Let me share my screen here.
I want to add, as people are presenting, you know, if you want to open up and follow along on the doc and comments, I think that would be helpful. Um, Also, one thing that I want to highlight too is that the template it includes the coordinates, and I think that some of the coordinates haven't wrapped up, which is totally fine. I think you know, as long as they're done within the next week, when these go up on Snapshot and then are voted on, that's fine. But also, we're missing a really important column in the coordinate, and that's on me. But I want to make sure that we collect everyone's ETH addresses, so that way it speeds up the process, and I don't need to ask, you know, one by one for everyone's Ethereum address. So if you could add that in the actual, yeah, like they're at the bottom. Scroll up a little bit. Yeah, right here in the coordinate results, right next to member name, or yeah, wherever. ETH address would be very helpful. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Okay, so
In the coordinate, we already have the address. You can see that?
pardon?
I mean, in the coordinate link, you can see all the address and with the name.
Not necessarily.
Remember?
There might be people that aren't on the multi-sig that are
Yeah.
coordinate
Okay.
processes.
I'll do that.
Cool. So I'm just going to go over, the stuff that I think is really key. Actually, you know what? I think Luffy, you should probably go over at least these first ones. Like this one, you can review. This was more your thing.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to? You can just.
Yeah, I can do that. No worries. Yeah. So as you can see that the first objective here is set up the foundation of the community guild. So it include like setting up the Discord, some like multi-site wallet, making the llama pay for the like vesting, setting up the bounty and the deworks. So you can find all the link there. Um, so I just try to keep it short here. So the key learning here is about the llama pay. Uh, so it's not really suitable for every cases. So it only makes sense when you need to do the best thing for over months. But if the gas fee very high, so just keep in mind that to consider if you want to use the llama pay. And one more point is the llama pay default gas limit is fault. It means it's not like optimized, so you have to change it manually. Otherwise, you have to pay maybe 10 times higher than the actual cost. Let's say $30 or $40, which is normally the optimal one is only 2 or 3 US dollars. So we included a guideline for Llama Pay together with how to fix the gas limit in I mean the end, not the end, but somewhere here. So you just need to find the guideline. Yeah. The D work is something good for transparent, but it's not really good for project management. Is another learning from us. Yeah.
Yeah, we think it could be good for like contests, and Pablo had the idea of also using it for like long shot bounties. Like I put as an example, get us an AMA with Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? Like
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
just those
Uh,
types of. It might be interesting to do that.
for the object tip two, we at first we thought we want to define a roadmap, a long-term roadmap for community guild, just like the space engineering guild did. However, we realized that for a guild, it's not literally doing a work. It's more of like a pool of talent, and what we need to do is coordinate people. So we just like realize that okay, this is the wrong approach. So instead of like you can still see a roadmap, but it's not really something we think is the right way. So instead of a roadmap, we come up with the operational guideline, the path forward. So you can see that how the guild should operate and things like that.
Cool.
Um, okay. For
Right,
the
this is not the
community.
right link. I will
Uh,
click this link. Sorry.
okay. Is that it is right?
No, it's linking
Not
to the stewardship
not
proposal.
not the latest one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. For the community engagement. So for community engagement, we focus on three key results. The first one is identify the key indicators for community engagement, which is we have a list of indicators so you can have a look. And we also have the guild performance dashboard, which is very cool. It was created by Michi. He had presented it for like the Senate like couple of weeks, no, maybe a couple of months ago. So I am not going through that. So the key learning here is it's easy to define the indicators, but it's really difficult to measure all the indicators and maintain it. So you can see for the key result number 2, we underestimated the task, and then we ended up with we couldn't fulfill the task. So this is something we do a latest phase. So we give a score 0 for this because we obviously we fail for this task. For the key result 3.3, the improved community engagement, you can see that we have done lots of activities here. I have no time to go through one by one, but you can see some like we improve the onboarding process. We even introduce the onboarding code. We have done that for months. Uh, it clearly this is a better approach, but we still need something to improve. We have what is that, Michi? Can you just give it?
Right.
Yeah, we airdrop the sorry. We piloted the Gather Town that you are here in the Gather Town, right? So it's one of the initiative from Community Guild. We have airdrop the NFT to the V Mooney holders. So hopefully everyone here got some NFT, and hope that you'll love the art. And we restructure the Discord as well as we have some um, community recognition program, so you can check it out. This is very cool, created by Michi. Okay. Uh, MoonDAO operation. For the operation, we have the same approach. We start with identify indicators, meta indicators, and we have done a bunch of activities to improve the operations of the MoonDAO. You can see the list, including deploy a lot of like automation process, the board, and things like that. We deploy the hammer. So I'm not sure if everyone here uses the hammer, but it's really good in terms of communicate with the larger audience. So you just use the hammer, and then the time will be so to the everyone in their local time. It's really helpful. We have Llama Pay guideline I mentioned before. The bot snap signal. So basically, when you make a snapshot post, then it automatically twists on our like MoonDAO official twister, and we also created MoonDAO Guild XYZ. I gave all credit to Ryan for this, and we also have the MoonDAO onboarding support document. So you check it out.
Yeah, that's something I'll be talking about hopefully more next week.
Yeah. And the final objective, which is the easy one, the most straightforward one, is like enforce the code of conduct. So we have deployed the Guardian bot. So thanks name.get for his excellent work. So basically now you can see we have no structure like poop emoji, because all that emoji have been banned. So it's really helpful in terms of keep our like Discord as professional, and we can attract more professional engineers to join our DAO. Yeah, that all for me.
I think our main learning overall was that guilds are not a great conduit for actually doing work. That should be done like strictly within proposals. I think that's like pretty much a common thread throughout a lot of our learnings here. Luffy, did you want to go through your individual OKRs?
To go into the individual OKR. So I would leave it for everyone to read it, and then if they have comments, questions, just reach out to us.
Well, I just want to go through some of the things here that like I just want to give a really quick review of some of the things that were on my specific OKRs. The community recognition program, like a lot of these things, basically you'll find I linked to what are basically proposals that you don't necessarily need to go through. I don't want everyone to take that, they don't have to go through with a fine tooth comb or anything. But yeah, the community recognition program basically resulted in good partnership potential with Coordinate. And we're right now actually in progress with them on, well, they're building a bot and we're kind of waiting on them to release that so we can start building on top of it. The You can see also the stewardship proposal I put in here, which I would like. Well, I was hoping this week. I forgot that we were going to be doing these project reviews, but um, yeah, there's a stewardship proposal. There's also the guild performance dashboard, which we mentioned above, and that's again a project that is create a lot of like foundational support for us to go forward. Like I think it's a really good framework for us to use. The blog, the microblog. I also included a link here to like an AI roadmap, which I think is probably, if you're going to read any of these things, this is probably the most interesting one. And I also showed like a lot of work I did trying to figure out like what partnerships might look like and all of the legal considerations that we'll need to make when we, outline our partnerships and things in more detail. And then I just want to give some credit here. So we also had Colin, who did R&D for bots and developed Guardian Bot. He also did Astrobot, which is cool. Pablo is on here for community, helping you improve community engagement, proposing weekly onboarding meeting. I don't think I have much more time here to go through a lot of this, but yeah, I just want to give shout out Lucas, Royalty, Ryan, all these guys. Yeah, really provided a lot here, especially this stuff that like Ryan has done. Lucas has been done just like really creative stuff and pushed GatherTown, which I think is great. And I think there's still a lot of potential there. And yeah, we also have Stelly on here who basically bought the streaming. Yeah, we weren't quite sure exactly what to put for the rest of Stelly's contributions because a lot of the things fizzled out. But yeah, that's basically it. We can wrap up there.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, great overview. We do Davos next. How's it sound? Ari, or no? I can
Sure,
maybe,
I'm happy to take it from here real quick.
sure, yeah, go for
it. Okay, again, I'll be fast for the spirit of this meeting today. This was a really exciting event, and a lot still in development right now. Unfortunately, the videographer has not sent the edit of the video back, so I'm going to update that as soon as possible, as well as have the long-term outer space innovation advocacy series reports that will also be later. But we have some incredible contacts from Davos and from this event that you can go through here. Met with leaders in Web3, outer space, aerospace, government, finance, media, AI, cybersecurity, art, journalism, philanthropy, education, events, law, climate action, advocacy, and venture capital, just to name a few. Really exciting group of people that we got to meet, and amazing events. The four of us really were meeting with people at least 12 hours a day for that whole week. So we have a great list of contacts. Wanted to share some of the big report. It's over here. Lots of good links here. And I extrapolated again using some AI, some of the big takeaways, but the main things are on outer space development, the impacts of artificial intelligence, and then current macroeconomic trends. And the big highlight of outer space development is this idea of the triple whammy that's happening, that it's moving faster than Moore's law, because it's decreasing, the space components are decreasing in size, they're increasing in capability, and the cost of launch is decreasing. So it's really exciting what's happening in space. There are 100 moon missions planned in the next decade, but the short-term focus of the leaders there are really on space situational awareness and on low Earth orbit. Future of AI, the fourth industrial revolution, and then macroeconomic trends, big ideas around geopolitical threats, financial challenges, and the climate emergency. This is the event that I spoke at. This is about halfway through, so it's a really great event, packed house there, and I just gotta track down this this videographer that got the thing. But really great events, and looking forward to following up more for our all the people that we're connecting with. I've really been also waiting for our 0G to be live to do a follow-up with all of them. So now that it is, and this could be a good plug for everyone to follow, like, get your 0G subscription and sweepstakes there. And help promote that. So great event. I think this again should be really the flagship, and already looking into opportunities for next year to maximize our results. But Pablo, I'll pass it to you and Manuel if you have anything else to add. But as far as the highest quality people from such diverse industries around the world, this was really worthwhile.
Yeah, I'll quickly share some thoughts and then pass it over to Manuel. Yeah, I think that there were a lot of great connections made. But yeah, well, actually, I think Manuel compiled a list of contacts, right? But yeah, I think one metric that we lack at the moment is conversions into MoonDAO members, and I think it would be really awesome to see um, like who actually ended up converting. And I think that's a really important metric to track. And on just kind of like a general note, I think that doing these reports, I'm realizing that we would get a lot more value out of very good tracking of important key metrics. You know, measuring things that really matter for us. And I think it's something just generally that we should focus on is metrics evaluation and having just a very clear understanding of what metrics are really important at MoonDAO. So one of them being, you know, how many MoonDAO members are joining every week, and then having, you know, clear data on all of that, I think would be great. But yeah, I'll hand it off to Manuel. I think he. So yeah, when I was doing the report, I was like looking at that key metric of, you know, at least 5 people converted into MoonDAO members, and I was going through all of the business cards that I received and looking at all of them, and I was like, yeah, well, like we met a bunch of great people, but I'm not sure if they ever ended up, you know, becoming a member of our community. So yeah, I think it'd be great to track that. But I'll hand it over to Manuel because I think he's got more of that data. Yeah.
Yeah, I can also share my screen again. And yeah, I thought we have this lit QR code for tracking onboarded people. In Davos, I think I didn't have this, so I mainly created the database here, but we already got the data for I think Denver, right? Okay, but yeah, have a look here. We met great people. Davos was like, whoa, really a lot of events. And again, I closed Davos leads because of sensitive information. But we can have a sneak peek in here. So yeah, this is like mainly the database. I created based on all the events that we visited. Here are the events. Here are the LinkedIn profiles. I followed up with everyone. I created a funnel of 5 email sequences over a period of 1.5 months because I did not approach these people from major blockchain or space or science universities. I did not approach them to win them as MoonDAO members, but instead identify opportunities for collaboration. So I followed up with everyone. I tracked the engagement. I tracked the meetings here, and the outcomes are already laid out in the partnership proposal channel. So I summarized what was discussed. I created opportunity reports and inserted them into our partnership funnel. But yeah, I definitely need support with all the partnership onboarding to MoonDAO. So we really need to fix this and then see, okay, what is the easiest way possible to win these companies for a long-term partnership with MoonDAO. I would differentiate between strategic, operational, and transactional partnership, and then make the onboarding process as simple as possible. But yeah, now that we are talking about that, I think it's useful to catch up again. I would say at least with all the relevant companies that are laid out here, and then talk about concrete steps, how we can form a relationship to these companies. But this is something that I need really help with because I had capacity for this for the last 3 months or so. But now I'm really occupied with all the Gitcoin related stuff. So yeah, let's discuss everything related to partnership onboarding, maybe in the growth meeting or so. But yeah, I would say that's it. And everyone who wants access, who wants to work with us on these yeah, concrete onboarding and approaching again, yeah, to further work on this. Feel free to ping me. Feel free to ping Ari or Pablo, or any other person that feels responsible for this. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, awesome work, Manuel.
Yeah.
I will add some of my contacts in there too. Yeah, I listed some out in the final report, but yeah, I think it'd be great to have that in one big database. Yeah, great work, Manuel. Awesome. So yeah, should we move on to next one?
Sorry,
Yep.
just one question. As I see, this list, Manu, is great that you did this. So as I see that there's always a LinkedIn and in your list. And have we already started our LinkedIn and also to follow those on yeah those on the people in your LinkedIn?
Yeah, so I mainly, I mainly invited them via LinkedIn, but there was no, I would say, selling approach or so, to win them for MoonDAO. It was just, a reminder that the contact point stays relevant and that they remember us. And yeah, the main communication channel was really email. Email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it would be great normally if we to follow each other the LinkedIn, then we post our update on the information and could have some intercommunication. Use LinkedIn platform would be great. So I don't know, Pablo or Ryan, who now to operate our LinkedIn account?
Yeah, so we actually just cleaned up the last pass earlier today, and yeah, I think Ryan has access to it. I have access to it. Yeah, and we've started to be a little bit more active there. I think even right now, currently, we're live streaming this Gather Town to LinkedIn. So yeah, we're upping our activity for sure.
Okay, great. Sounds great. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Great. Should we move on to maybe the developer guild? Or is that still ongoing? I think there's still.
We didn't. We were going to put it in for next quarter.
Okay.
Because there's still technically a month left.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Well, then let's do maybe the token listing project. If Barney and Laertes wanna share that.
Okay, I can get on the stage.
Or yeah, maybe let's do
Yeah,
treasury transparency first.
I couldn't get on the stage on the other side.
All right.
1 second. Let me. Sorry, I'm having trouble sharing my screen. Can you guys see this? Okay, I see thumbs up. So yeah, so this is the token listing final report. In summary, we got Mooney listed on MEXC and Gate.io, which are two like pretty popular exchanges, and they're traditionally what like you get listed on, or what most projects try to get listed on first before, like the first steps before getting listed on something like Binance or Coinbase. And yeah, we also did like deployed like market making services on the exchanges to give the token like liquidity there. So yeah, the results, basically we got the Mooney listed on the two exchanges, and I guess a learning point was that it's easier to negotiate like a listing if your like trading volume is higher. So I guess for next time, if we want to do a listing, we should wait until, I don't know, like Mooney has a little surge or something in volume, or Mooney is kind of popular, and it'll give us like a big discount or even like a free listing opportunities. For maintenance, we will need to continue like monitoring the market making funds and the exchanges, and like keep contact with the like teams at the exchanges in case there's any problems. And Barney and I will continue to do this. So on the project, there was also the objective of creating a new token logo. We never really did this. The main reason for doing this was because our like little emblem is like not circular, and we were using that for token logos in the past, and it ended up like looking kind of weird on some places. But we ended up just using like the logo version with like, it's like the one with like the white background, which like circular, to like give to the exchanges for like our official logo. So and if we did want to change our logo, I think it would be better
idea to do it through a DAO-wide vote than rather just like giving it to our hands. So yeah, if we want to do this in the future, I'd recommend like a more like DAO-centric way of doing this.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Oh, also, by the way, you just need to go over the objectives. You don't need to go into what every individual did.
Okay.
Just to keep things short. Plus, yeah, we just care about what the project outcomes were. But one question that I have is, like, how do we like transparently show how much money is being made through market making, and how will that be returned over to the DAO treasury? I mean, we sort of need to trust you and Barney, right? But we have no way of verifying how much is being made, and no way of ensuring that that money comes back to the treasury. Not that I don't trust you or Barney, but I think that we need to have more visibility into what's going on there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Barney, what do you think?
We can ask for the every trade like the exchange help us to make, because we didn't do it ourselves for the market making. We just deposit the money on the like a direct account. The exchange told us to deposit, and we actually we can't do anything for for the account. We can't trade. We just only can show the number, and when we
How
want
do we
to,
make that transparent to the DAO?
we can export the data when we want to do it.
Okay, and then how do we make money off of that? Like, how do we take money out of that account?
We can just withdraw the money wherever we want. Basically.
Okay. But also exporting like a CSV, like it's
Yeah.
still like there's still possibility of like, again, I trust you and Lartiz, but there's a possibility
They
of
have
like
API
editing
on
the
the exchange.
CSV,
You can
right?
read it. They have API on the exchange. You can read it. We can make an
Okay.
API of it.
Could me and a couple other people get access to that just to like keep an eye?
Everyone can access with the API. Just show the daily account trading.
Yeah, and we can give you like the login
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
account too.
And I mean, if we can't like just like we can't hurt it through any actions, I think that login should be made available for others to be able to view and know what's going on there. I want to be transparent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can make an API to read the.
Yeah, we can make an API key to read the like
If
the
you
read
want
only.
to log into the account, it's too complicated. They have a 2FA, they have a email. Maybe just use the API. I think that's very much better, and then we can include in the MoonDAO dashboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess that should be an important follow up there. And yeah, please. Yeah, I think we should get that done. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Should I go over anything else or just the like results?
Yeah, just the results. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's about it then. Any other like questions? Okay. All right.
Cool. Thanks, guys. All right. Maybe next we can do DAO Denver. Let's see. I can maybe share my screen for this one. Pull this up. All right. Can you guys see this? Cool. All right. So, yeah, DAO Denver, Justin Manuel, me, and Laura Tees all attended. Yeah, the objectives here are basically overall awareness. So yeah, we did a presentation. We had both Manuel and me presented. Yeah, Manuel has a bunch of great links here. We attended. It wasn't just DAO Denver, but DeSci Denver happened in the same event, and so we had a bunch of great connections with the DeSci community. Yeah, we attended a bunch of different DeSci events, as well as just like overall DAO events. Yeah. One thing that so this key result, manning a table and handing out promotional materials, we actually didn't end up getting a table. I think that was maybe a bit of a miscommunication with DAO Denver. I think we were supposed to get one, but yeah, ended up showing up and there was just no table for us there. So not great. But yeah, also we were able to still like scan QR codes and stuff like that. But for next time, it'd be I think really important to be able to man our own table and hand out promotional materials. The third key result here is on purchasing zero-G flights, life ships, and the Ticket to Space fundraise. So there's a video in here for DAO Denver Day 2. And in it, I think that eventually they'll cut it out into specific talks. But yeah, I did a presentation there on what we're doing with zero-G, what we're doing with life ship, and the Ticket to Space. Yeah, the only, I mean, I gave it a 0.3 score. I mean, I think that we did as well as we could with that presentation, but again, kind of a common theme that I saw is that we don't have really awesome metrics on this. So like, we know that there was 20 reservations for zero-G, but it's hard to know which ones came from that presentation. Also, the Ticket to Space juice box hasn't opened yet, so we really don't know what the impact there is yet. And yeah, life ship, we don't have good tracking on like how many kits have been purchased so far. So I think that we need to get those metrics. Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, I think we had a strong presence there. And yeah, maybe another learning or recommendation here might be that we try to get on the main ETH Denver stage for next year. I think we're a little bit too late on that. By the time that we were reaching out to ETH Denver, everything had basically closed up in terms of sponsorships and talks. So yeah, I think we just need to get on the ball a bit earlier. Probably around nowish time would be good to start getting those conversations going. And yeah, I think that yeah, DAO Denver is like orders of magnitude smaller than ETH Denver. So the impact at the actual ETH Denver having like a talk there would be, I think, a lot bigger than DAO Denver. Yeah. But yeah, Manuel, Justin, do you guys have any other thoughts, Larties? Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I can continue if you want. I would love to share my screen also. But yeah, I think we had like really great events in Denver. There was not only ETH Denver, for sure. Obviously, there was DAO Denver. There were also dedicated events for decentralized science with DeSci Denver. And there were also like really climate or regenerative finance related events with the Climate Summit and also Gitcoin's Shelling Point. So this was mainly these were mainly the events that had the most leverage also for our mission, I would say. You can see my screen, right? Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so because yeah, in advance, I created this DeSci Twitter overview. So everyone who was active on Twitter and talking about decentralized science, this kind of stuff, I made this list and reached out to everyone forefront to let them know that we will be at ETH Denver and DAO Denver talking about decentralized science and decentralized space. I reached out to my personal network and DeSci and ReFi. And funny thing, I met like really a lot of people I already met here in Europe. Funny story, yeah, here in Berlin for the blockchain week, but that's another thing. And yeah, to come straight to the point here, I'm gonna open up the ETH Denver Leads tab because this was a lot of stuff to process. I mean, I had a chat with 120 people. Not every one of them are like relevant for MoonDAO. I take through the VIPs. I mainly followed up with everyone. I had like really solid contact details too. As you can see here, me Telegram, also some Twitter profiles. A lot of people answered. I would say the most important people answered that are, you know, affiliated here. Some highlights: Foresight Institute and Lifespan.io. Now we are looking to work more on astrobiology in the best possible way. So I hope in the future we will see more about that. Yeah, and this was overall like a really successful experience. We get in touch with yeah, Gitcoin and also Kevin Avoki here, and yeah, a lot of great opportunities that we just need to proceed to process. So yeah, I'm again advocating for a dedicated partnership group, yeah, growth guild or a community guild, maybe join forces how to onboard and distribute these leads in the best possible way. But in the end, yeah, pretty good sources here. Yeah, and beside that, oh, before I forget it, beside like the personal contact points, I also did a lot of outreach afterwards to all the speakers from DeSci Denver, here Shelling Point, DAO Denver, and Climate Summit. So yeah, and I thought I did not reach out to ETH Denver speakers because it was just too broad. I think again, DeSci and regenerative finance are like the two biggest topics that we need to tackle as a DAO with a focus on space. Yeah, and now there are literally hundreds of people waiting for our answer how to proceed. Not only on Telegram, but also on Twitter. So yeah, let's fix everything related to partnerships and then move forward. I would say that's it. Yeah. Anything left to discuss for DAO Denver? Oh yeah, and before I forget it, I also presented. This was super fun. This was like, yeah, I did the kickoff presentation for DAO Denver. Imagine, you know, I just randomly registered for the event because I you know, Steve offered us to present. I was like, okay, I'm gonna send it in the presentation, and then it was like, okay, he said to me, please send it over one day before. So a short time period to prepare. And then he came to me on the first day and said, okay, you're going to be the kickoff. And I was like, oh man. But I'm an expert in improvising. So it was a lot of fun. And for me personally, huge success. My whole family tuned in. My girlfriend distributed the live stream link to everyone. So really, yeah, I had good support, and I hope you also tuned in for, you know, live streaming with Pablo and with what we presented there. But yeah, check it out. A lot of side stories and a good overview about why it's useful to use DeSci tooling for space. Let me see. Did I forget something? No, I do not think so. Yeah.
Yeah, good presentations, guys. I wanted to ask more about the table. Was that included in the sponsorship for DAO Denver, and are they going to return any of that money, or did you guys work something out to compensate for that, or was it just a misunderstanding?
Yeah, I think it was a misunderstanding. We showed up and we are like, "Where's our table?" And yeah, they're just like, "Oh, we don't." Well, and then yeah, it just didn't never happen. So yeah, maybe we can talk to Steve about it a bit. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed by that. Yeah. Also, like, I feel like yeah, it just wasn't so much like we expected. Like, even the tables that were there wasn't so much like tables. It was like in a bar, and yeah, there wasn't that much. I mean, yeah, I to be honest, yeah, I feel like the DAO Denver conference was kind of hastily planned on their end, and yeah, I know Justin has a lot of thoughts on this too. Yeah, I highly recommend. I think that we should try to go for ETH Denver next year. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can add something to this. So yeah, I think it's useful if we present ourselves at ETH Denver, but again, I think it's also useful if we go hyper focused and then also try to get involved more in the planning and organizing and sponsoring of DeSci Denver next year, or get in touch more or further intensify the partnership with Gitcoin and then support Shelling Point, for example. I also got good connections to Flow Carbon because I met them in Berlin last year, and they organized the climate summit. So these are like all really hardcore, impactful events that actively support the funding and of public goods. And I think we should. If ETH Denver is not happening, I would say we should really go hyper focused and try to make something possible with the impactful side events, at least.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think DeSci Denver was great, and yeah, I feel like they they were almost 50% of the DAO Denver uh, speaking. Like I think they took over like a whole day of DAO Denver for DeSci, and yeah, that was pretty solid. Um, but yeah, any other questions, or should we move on to the next report? All right, I'll take that silence as let's move on. I think, yeah, Luffy, do you want to go next with Treasury transparency?
Sorry, Paulo. I just mute regarding the DAO demo. I just want to say one word.
Everyone
Um,
see the screen.
Yeah, I can see the screen, Luffy, but Balak, I couldn't hear you. You kind of drifted off there.
Okay, great. Sorry, Luffy. I just mute. So, just one point that regarding the DAO demo. If they were actually we had time to play, and the Steve come to us at first the December something and ask for help, and but we ask around. We all know that Denver is East Denver is a very huge event, but actually no one take this project. So at the end, the Pablo come to on I think it's red 2 or 3 months. And Pablo come to through Growth Guild and Growth Guild Media and take this. So I hope hopefully that if we really think this is a big event or a very important event, we want to next year, and I hope that if one member if in Europe or in the US that one member from there could to take it on a little earlier to plan it to make it a good plan. Yeah, this is just what I want to mention because this was responsible for this project. Okay, yeah, just one word from my side. Luffy, please go ahead.
Thanks, Balak. So as you can see on the screen, this is a treasury transparency project. As you already know, I have presented this final report around 2 months ago. So I just going through it very quickly, just try to remind everyone what it is, and I'm not going into details. So the project objective is try to track down all the expense we have made in uh, 2020, 2022, and you can see that there are a couple of results I have been highlighted here. So the remaining budget close project have been recorded in this, and they so after the project, so I have follow up with those project and ask them to return the remaining budget. There are two main objectives for this project, and you can see the result here. The first one is set up MoonDAO account on a finance treasury management platform, and we ended up with a partnership with Consola Finance. So you can have a look here. And the lesson learned is there are a couple of finance tools out there. I have a look like around 5 or 6 meeting with Consora and Robinhood, which is the transparency treasury before, and I found that they are still exploring and still working on their products, because obviously DAOs is something very new and no one sure where it will head to. So it's all about experimenting. So with that being said, we shouldn't spend too much effort on any single platform, and we rather to always keep an eye on the new tools and things like that. For the consola, we also had a kind of partnership with them. It's just like signing a letter that we show interest in their platform, and then they can offer a free for us for 2 years something. And um, we also have a couple of contribution in build their future product, let's say new feature, and comment on their current platform. um, well, so you can find out all the treasury report here. For the raw data, you can see it here. I'm not going into details. So the follow-up close project and return, so this is the result of um, the project. So this is return around 30K um, DAI and more than 1.5 million money to our treasury. So for the contribution, I took most of the work here. Paulo have support a lot in terms of reviewing and ensuring all the labels are correct, and list down all the multi-site wallet. So as you can see the coordinate here, and so this is like we use the old format of project proposal. So the MVP for me is like 2000, but I haven't received it, and I think it makes sense to just give it for the bonus. So there are no multi-site for this project, because I just do it and without any budget required. Even for the project, for the platform, we can use that for free. I mean the Consola platform. So that's all for me. Um, Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I'll take this in note, because everyone knows this already. So Paulo, I pass it to you.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Luffy. Yeah, yeah, I think this was a great report, and I think that as we move more of our operations on chain, um, yeah, we can do this in kind of a more automated way, labeling transactions as they come. I think even just the like having that treasury transparency table in each of the final reports will help a lot in putting this together in the future. So yeah, thanks, Luffy. All right, guys. Are there any other projects that any other project reports? Anything we're missing? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no. So, can you guys see my screen here? Yeah. Okay. Great. So this is a spreadsheet that's just a copy of what we used last quarter, but it's a bit more simplified. But yeah, I've compiled all of the links to each of the reports here. And so what we'll be doing now is each of the Rocketeers will include what they think is the right distribution of rewards for each of the projects. And yeah, as we're doing this, I think some of the coordinates haven't settled yet. So just make sure that that those coordinates are all put together. And yeah, the deadline for getting this in is Monday. So by Monday, I'd really like to have a snapshot created so that people can vote between each of the distributions. So um, yeah, once these are put in, I will also fill this stuff out as well. So this is just adding what everyone's MVPs were and all that. So really, what I'll be looking at is this table here. So the coordinate results. So um, please input what your upfront payment was for the project if you had one, and the percent of total rewards. So yeah, this all of those coordinates should get finished by Monday at the latest. Yeah, and then once we have all of that information, then we should be able to run the vote. And yeah, so what we're doing this time around is that people will vote between Rocketeer distributions. So kind of like a delegated vote rather than people creating their own distribution, which we found has its own problems due to basically information overload. People that don't tune into these meetings, that aren't listening to all the stuff that's going on, they they have rather biased distributions. They're not really looking into all of the work. So instead, we're having the Rocketeers add their distributions transparently, and then people can vote and delegate their votes on Snapshot to each of the people. So yeah, this is the first time we're running that. I expect it to have some bumps, but we'll take them as they come, and we'll try to make sure everything goes smoothly, and hopefully it does go smoothly, and this is a system that we can run going forward. Yeah. Any questions about that, about these distributions and the timeline going forward? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'd also love, if we can take some time to just quickly discuss, how people felt about this process. Yeah, I think that there are multiple ways that we can make this more efficient in the future. One thing that really resonated with me was a discussion with Michi that a lot of these reports really they take the format not of a Google Doc, but of a spreadsheet. And I think that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, really, these could each be represented as like cells in a spreadsheet, and that might allow for just easier like visibility about what's going on. The only thing is that some of these are like kind of longer sentences, so the spreadsheet might look ugly. But yeah, I think especially also like breaking things down into each member's results. This I particularly found to be like pretty painful.
Way easier for me to use and in one column that I could copy and paste from. But also, yeah, that might not be like if you really wanted to read it, maybe that's not the best format, but there are some pretty easy ways that we can take what like the information from a spreadsheet and put them into a doc form just automatically. So I don't think that should be a concern.
Yeah, totally. Another thing too is that yeah, I think that we could overall really benefit from like better metrics tracking. Like a lot of these, like I think it's pretty easy to hide bad results, you know, a bit because we don't have very strict metrics around it. And I think people overall were pretty honest about what did and didn't get done. But you know, I think yeah, it's a little tricky when we don't have like quantitative measurements of each of the results. So I think that's something that we can do better at. Yeah. Any other feedback you guys have?
I think that we have a bot trained on all of our learnings and all this data.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think.
don't know if you... Oh, go ahead, Ari. Yep.
Sorry, I just I think it might be helpful also to add something like number of hours or resources put into this. I didn't. Yeah, I think that may be helpful when people are judging that. You know, like the yeah, hours per week or hours total. You know, I think like a conference, even though it's a short time period, will be many hours within that week, and then the follow up and the preparation. So yeah, I don't know, maybe giving more context on how much effort really went into that. I think maybe for the individual contributions, maybe something more of putting it all together rather than going through each OKR maybe better. But yeah, I think this was overall pretty good. I would love individual meetings and to really dive into each of them maybe in the future also, rather than trying to squeeze it in. It'd be great to yeah, have like full presentations on the outcomes. But I thought this was a pretty good process.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, we could add a well
Good to go. I think this is good to go.
one thing in particular that I found is that I think that in the future we should like really instead of having like 5 objectives on a proposal and you know each with like 3 or 4 key results, I think that like just having like one objective or 2 objectives with very quantitative metrics behind it, that would simplify things a lot. Another thing that just generally, I mean, this is more just for myself, but like I probably filled in something like 30 to 40 objectives, or like 30 to 40 key results and objectives, and I don't think one human can do that many objectives and key results, in a way that, I'm giving 100% to each of them. So, for me personally, I think that I'm going to try to be a lot more focused in the future about what projects I sign up for and what I do. And I think that might be in general like a good practice. If we do less objectives but do them really well, I think that we're gonna have much better outcomes than doing 30 objectives and not really meeting the bar on them so well. So yeah.
Totally agree with you. Hello. This is also my lesson learned. So from now on, I would rather be focused on some key activities and we not spread our effort on multiple activities because it didn't end up well.
Yeah.
If I can add something to this, I think we can fix this if we, really keep it serious with the Kanban boards and just review it, for the first 5 minutes or so that we can really ensure that we work on these tasks. It's just the only way to go, to review it week by week, and protocol what was done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, the weekly reports, I think, have been a good change. But yeah, maybe we could go a step further and do a Kanban. Yeah. Another thing too is, like for example, this report is 18 pages, and like I I would be surprised if people read through all of the reports. I think we owe it to each other to do so, to you know, uh, fairly judge each other. But yeah, any thoughts on like how we could make these shorter and higher signal to noise? I mean, maybe it's just as simple as like
Yeah, I'm not sure how to make it shorter, but I think that we could add an abstract or some short form of the reports just in the beginning, like half page or something like that. And if you are really interested in or want to check something, then maybe you could verify or read through the whole report. I don't know. I also think that more quantitative metrics will help with this because with quantitative metrics we can just add the spreadsheet in one page and show and prove that what was underperforming or outperforming and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty long. And to be sincere, I'm not sure if I will be able to read all the reports, even though I really would like to. So yeah.
agreed. Yeah. Yeah.
I know I said it already, but I think that having this put in a spreadsheet would help a lot, because basically how I envision it is I think we'll see this as like a trend in DAOs and in like operations in all types of organizations generally, that proposals in the future will be more taking on the form that the person who is like that the stakeholder wants to see it in. So essentially, like say as an individual, like when I'm looking at these reports, these are the key things that I'm interested in, like return on investment, and I'm interested in, social impact or whatever, right? And I have a specific. I can imagine like designing a specific format, right? Like a form that I would fill in. And if this was all on a spreadsheet, it would be easy for me to hand this off to like ChatGPT and be like, fill in this form for each one of these objectives or whatever. You could get key insights into the things that you're looking for about all the projects at once, just a lot faster. I think that just like that technology, just having it in a spreadsheet allows us to use that technology so much more easily. And I think that would be like a really big win if next time around these were all in spreadsheets.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe, some of this can definitely be moved over to a spreadsheet or even a form. I like the idea of a form. Especially like I think one thing that I found a little bit tedious was like copy pasting and formatting things and like getting, okay, this is a specific contribution, impact, complexity, blah 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 blah. Blah, and then I found myself too like taking shortcuts a little bit, and going like like quick sentence on the impact, rather than like I think that's kind of just on me. It's too many to like fill out. Just it ended up getting a little tedious. But yeah. Another thing too that was recommended to add is like I'm gonna say maybe like rename this like non-initial objectives. Like yeah, what do you guys think about something like this? Like having a section that's like okay, well, this wasn't in the original objectives, but we did all of this other work, and here's like some proof of that. Or like maybe there was like a team member that added to an objective that we didn't even know we needed at the beginning.
I think it's a good idea. I think that sometimes, like, when you start a thing, when we set really ambitious goals, sometimes when you set out for those things, you realize the path you think is going to get you there isn't the right one, right? And that's fine. Like, that happens. And I think that, it'd be good for the proposal to accommodate that.
If I could add something here, I think it can be important to set up for big goals, but because if we then find out that we totally cannot reach these goals, I think we should definitely set ourselves up to do the best that we can to move closer to this goal. And then even if we do not reach it, it's totally fine. But we shouldn't go for, I would say, smaller goals just for the sake of doing less protocol work or having like a positive result at the end. I think we can face like the fear of not being enough when it comes to performing, but it's just part of the learning. But this is my perspective, that we stay to this big goals, but then really encourage failing and learning out of this experience. I think this can be the way to go instead of aiming for smaller goals.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I also want to get some feedback on these. So initially this said submit it on the website, but we just don't have that yet. So instead just submit into proposal submit, and then organizing stuff and putting in Google Drive, returning excess funds. Everyone did this today, so you can check that off. Make sure that you update the Discord roles. And I guess this is already in there with maintenance, but creating any documentation for people that need to maintain stuff after the project is over. Anything else you guys feel like should be added here or might or you guys think should be changed in this? All right, I'll take the silence as no. Yeah.
That we should definitely, like, I would like to see us get rid of the final report to Google Drive and instead have that somehow happen automatically.
Mm.
Like there's a potential for automation there. I wish there was. Is there some way we could like have a auto return contract for like returning funds to the treasury? Is that feasible?
No, I don't think so, because the multi-sig still would need to sign it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can really talk about project management automation, but this can be maybe a topic for a guild or something. Because
Yeah.
we really need to take some time to talk about that, but it's definitely feasible in a way.
Totally. All right. Any other thoughts? Anything else?
The final reports, or just in general?
Yeah, final reports, and then yeah, just general.
I don't have anything about final reports, but I do have something in general.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing else. All right. Yeah, Michi, go for it.
Cool. So yeah, basically, I just wanted to bring up the stewardship proposal again. I don't think it passed quorum. We didn't get. We just didn't get enough votes. I'm pretty sure. But I did make some changes this week. I got some good feedback. There was one downvote from Ryan, and he had some really good feedback that we've incorporated into the thing. Let me just share my screen real quick. Whoops. Sorry, I had the doc open here.
I see 10 upvotes on the stewardship proposal. Did it not hit quorum?
There was only, I think, like 7 or 8 earlier.
I'm seeing 10 right now.
What's the quorum? How many Rocketeers do we have?
Maybe something wrong with the Discord. I had the similar problem before. So you just
sometimes
saw,
it doesn't.
yeah, the old one.
Oh, so it did pass.
Yeah, I think it did pass. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I have some updates to share anyway.
Okay.
Because I still think that this is worthwhile.
Yep.
So basically, I've made some updates here to the election terms. Basically, that we're going to, in the interest of transparency, run the election anyway. So right now there are only really 5 candidates. There's 5 spots, but we're going to do like a ranked choice vote with those 5 people. So I guess again, if you want to be a steward, now would be the time to. Well, I guess I don't know if it's. I guess yeah. In the interest of transparency, anyone who does want to be a steward should like let me know tomorrow. End of the day tomorrow. That will be the final deadline. But as for the time being, we only have 5 people. They're going to go up in a separate vote, ranked choice vote, with bios in that proposal, and just like a general outline about what the expectation is in terms of them needing to operate as a team.
Michi, can I chime in quickly here? First of all, the proposal have passed. So whatever Ryan comment, I think we can do it for the next round. And right now, if we got only 5 candidates and we do it in the rank vote, it doesn't make sense. It's just a waste of time for people.
Well, the Ryan's concern was that we may be setting a really bad precedent in that we're like doing something behind closed doors, and it's kind of
I totally agree with that, Michi. So that reason why I mentioned from now on we do it publicly. So instead of people DM you, we just like make it publicly. People show their interest in, let's say, some official channel, so everyone can see that all.
Well, I I agree with Mitchie though. I think that even like we shouldn't have one person making the decision around who can and cannot be a steward. Um, I like the idea of them really representing the community, and even if in this case, you know, there are only 5 people that want to be stewards and 5 spots, you know, even just having that like ceremony of like voting and ranking, I think would be good. Um, yeah, you know, in this case, it's not so necessary, but in the future, I think it will be. So
yeah,
yeah.
because like what happens next time if there's less than 5 people, and then the next time after that if there's less than 5 people, then if we're gonna not do a vote because it's superfluous, then we you know inadvertently might end up in a place where we're concentrating power, and that wouldn't be a good thing. So
Yeah, but I don't see the point of voting. First of all, I completely agree we should do that I mean transparently, and secondly, we should do a vote. And I mean, no one should decide who should be the steward. However, if we say we're gonna have 5 steward and we only have 5 candidates, what the point of doing the vote?
just basically, I think, so that people, you know, good PR. Like it looks better to do it that way. We're doing things more transparency. We're doing our part to like, you know, try to do things right. There's it's you know, it happens in real world politics too, that there's a vote even when there's only one running candidate, right? It's just that's that's the way it works. And right now it hasn't gone up to vote yet anyway. So if we're planning on doing one next time, we might as well do it this time too, just to
Yeah,
set.
and it's not too
right.
late. Also, like more people could sign up and say, "Hey, I'd like to be steward." You know,
Yeah.
yeah, we have
Yeah,
5
we-
candidates now, but maybe there are more people that want to join.
Exactly.
Just extend the deadline and then let people to join. Then it make more sense to vote.
Do you want to extend it for more than just like? Should we give it? How long do you think would be fair to give it?
I don't know. By the end of this week,
I
Okay.
think every time we do this something like that, we just stick into like a crazy loophole. Like we open something up and a lot of people join, and suddenly the people disappear, and we waste of time to do the stewardship. I don't know
Well,
what's the
Barney, there's a requirement to be a steward in that you have to have led and successfully completed a project as a Rocketeer. So, yeah, it's not like any random person would be able to become a steward. Yeah.
yeah, but just like Luffy said, only 5 people went in, right?
Yeah, but this is like a future proofing thing, you know? Like in the future, do you want to like just have one person decide who all of the stewards are?
Like in this case, basically, it could be argued that I decided, right? Because I was essentially just like the center point on this, and yeah, I that's not something we should be like comfortable with. You know, this shouldn't be
yeah,
a measure of
Michi, because I mean we talk about this several times, at least for 2 or 3 weeks. And if people who show interest and it not in the list, so they will say it out loud. So if someone tell that, okay, you decide the steward here, so I can jump in.
Well, but Luffy, do you, like we need some method, right, of selecting out of the bunch. And
We already, Paulo.
yeah, but
From
Luffy,
yeah.
listen. Like I'm not talking about this quarter. I'm talking about in the future. We might have more than 5 candidates. So like who is the person responsible of deciding the top 5?
So we will do the vote. I think we all agree on that.
Okay, yeah, then I think we're all in agreement then. Yeah.
Cool. General quarterly elections for. Yeah, I mean, this is what we're doing basically is we are doing quarterly elections. That's outlined in the proposal. It's just the number of people who can like be in each round is capped at 5. Like that's what we picked. And yeah, anyway, I think we'll move forward with the vote just in the interest of transparency, even if it's superfluous. I did get a little clearer on some OKRs here, and I know we were just saying that we don't want to have like a ton of OKRs, but honestly, these are pretty clear. Like 15% increase in new members. These metrics are tracked directly in Discord. Basically, we want to come up with a good way of doing our onboarding and orienting members. In 3 months, I want to be able to say, like, look, here's how we do it. You know, this is the way we work. So that's basically the result there. These reports, monthly reports, like basically these things, these 3 would essentially be all included in one report every month. So it's just we're going to be summarizing our posts in Discord and yeah, just the results of our engagement efforts. In terms of like decreasing operational resistance, we're just going to have a report on like, you know, the key issues we've addressed, and then also any bugs and issues in our technical infrastructure, anything problem solved by Colin or me on the website and web or different websites. And then the last one is pretty simple as well, just notes and agenda posted for all guild meetings. So I think these are pretty basic OKRs. And we should be able to summarize the report pretty concisely on this, I think. So that was kind of my concern. Yeah, that's basically it. Those are the changes. So just want to let everyone know before it goes up to snapshot. And I guess we will make the deadline for stewards for anyone else if they want to apply to be on like before Monday of next week. So sometime this week or weekend. And please reach out, post in the Senate chat if you're interested so that we can keep things transparent. And there was one more thing, but I'm forgetting right now. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm blanking. But yeah, stewardship proposal. Oh, yes, this is the one more thing. Pablo is now the main Rocketeer on this. I don't, again, in the interest, like, just of not centralizing power, I shouldn't be the Rocketeer on this proposal. And I'm fine with that. So we're going to put Pablo there. But we do need, or I don't know if we need a sponsor. Pablo, do you need a sponsor when you?
I'm confused. So wait, is this like a in the format of a project?
Yeah, the stewardship proposal. Yeah, like it needs to have someone leading it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the responsibilities of the Rocketeer on this would be. I mean,
I don't know either. I mean, I was on there originally, and I thought, I don't know, like it doesn't really mean anything in this context, right?
Yeah, like what would, I mean, like I would prefer you to be the Rocketeer.
Oh, I thought
Um,
okay. I guess we had a miscommunication on this then, because I thought you agreed to.
I mean, I guess yeah. I don't really know what like what that role really represents in this case. Hmm.
No, stewards don't become Rocketeers,
Got it.
although there's just a high likelihood that they are Rocketeers.
Yeah, they kind of need to be in order to. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm okay being the Rocketeer, but yeah, I don't really know what that means in this case, but I guess we'll figure that out
I
as
guess
we go.
I guess it means that if anyone in the next anyone before Monday wants to become a steward on this proposal, then it's your call on whether they get added or not in the vote.
into the vote. Okay. Well, I think that the eligibility requirements are pretty straightforward. It's just whether or not you were a Rocketeer and had a project pass before. So yeah, yeah. I mean, sounds good, but yeah, I mean, I think yeah. Um, I guess if it's just for ceremonial purposes, that's fine. Yeah. Mm, got it. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess that makes some sense. Yeah, I'm happy to be the Rocketeer. Yeah.
And do you need to have a sponsor, or can you unilaterally push forward things as a steward or as an
Well, I
astronaut?
guess now we just need the delegate, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Should I change
um,
this to
yeah,
delegate?
anyone who's uh, yeah, has 250 V Mooney or more
I
who
do.
isn't, yeah, who isn't on the project already.
Oh,
I think that's a requirement. Yeah. Um, okay. I guess Ryan will be the delegate.
well,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we are kind of like fitting. Well, let's see how this works out. You know, if this system works, I guess it is kind of elegant to have the stewards be part of the project. You don't need to have a separate rule set for stewards versus for projects. So, yeah, if this generalizes well, then that's awesome. So yeah,
cool.
cool. All right. Yeah, I want to bring up one thing that's going on. So yeah, we have someone in the Chinese community. They go by Foggy, who has registered MoonDAO trademarks and logos under their own name, and they're claiming that it's their property. Um, and they are blackmailing us for like $50,000 to purchase it from him, which is a total joke. So we've told him that we're going to sue him. Um, unless if he like the offer that was made to him was that we can pay whatever legal fees he incurred in registering the trademark and logo. And which already I think is nice. Like he did this in order to blackmail us, but um then I also said, for your time in registering and doing all this, we'll pay you $1,000. And I think that's like more than generous of an offer, probably too generous. But yeah, he is standing firm and saying that he wants $50,000. So yeah, we're gonna sue him. And if we win in China, then yeah, he has to pay our legal fees, and he'd also have to pay a fine as well. So we have all of the documentation of Super NFT creating the logo for us and us paying him and all of that. And yeah, Super NFT is writing a letter saying that yeah, it's not that guy's property. I made it for Pablo at MoonDAO. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna move forward with that. And then also, yeah, we've registered like a US LLC, and to avoid something like this happening in the future, we're also going to register the trademark and logo in the US. And once we have it registered, we can say it's like CCO and open source and all of that, which is what we want. We just don't want it to be in the hands of some random person. So yeah, I just wanted to make that that whole situation aware to you guys.
Yeah, me and Pablo already finding a Chinese lawyer, and we're going to find the best IP lawyer in China, and the lawyer just have like a little talk with me, and we're going to pursue like a damage to the MoonDAO brand too, seek for 100K USD for paying back the town in laws and didn't have the IP in China. So yeah, that's the plan right now, and we're definitely gonna do it because we have all the documentation we have. We need to spend like 6 months to a year to have to win this thing. So it's kind of like a waste of time, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he realize that he has no shot at this?
But basically, he's going to lose because Super NFT didn't give him the copyright to register the IP in China. So, and we still have because he registered in March 5 to approve it, and we have 3 months to appeal it. So the lawyer said we're definitely going to win, and we just need to spend time to deal with the lawyer some stuff. So that's why the lawyer recommend us to seek for damage.
Right.
Yeah.
More lawyer talk. That's what we need.
I think this is bullshit, and we make a very good offer. I say to Pablo, Pablo's like so good as a person to like even in this situation, and we even reach out to him like several times to say we're going to buy your IP to reimburse you, but he make a very ridiculous offer to us. So I think we just go for the legal, suing him. So
Yep.
Yep. Fun stuff. But yeah, anyways, yeah, any other topics that people want to cover before we close up?
I just want to again echo the 0G and Pablo. Do we have the confirmation for Monday?
Yeah, we do. So yeah, Nicole Stott is going to be joining us in our Twitter for the AMA next week. So yeah, that's going to be pretty big for us. We'll make the announcement for that soon. And then we're also hoping to have her come to our Discord and do like an AMA on text. I haven't asked her about that yet, but yeah, that'd be very cool.
So yeah, please join for that. Please share on Twitter, and we're really trying to build up our Instagram page as well, and really get the word out on that. We'll also be having our LifeShip meeting on Friday. The time was just confirmed, so please check out in the Discord. But yeah, for next quarter and really for these next 2 months, these are going to be the big programs. So yeah, please put as much energy and time into that as you can.
Yeah, if any of you guys have rich friends, please let us know. Yeah, we need to sell these 0G tickets. Yeah,
Like, make it look
also,
good by Elon now.
yeah. Retweeting our tweets about 0G would help just for the algorithm. Yeah, liking all of that. Yeah, let's make some noise about it. Yeah.
There's not enough people dancing. We're literally having an AMA with a NASA astronaut. Like,
Yeah.
it's big news, I think. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, also, I'm waiting to update you guys about the um the visa interview with Yan. We're waiting for some information from Blue Origin. And then once we have that, we can update. But yeah, we want to make sure we have all the info before we yeah, make any confirmations about things. So yeah, we'll hopefully update you guys soon. Yeah.
Yeah. I also want to say that about the GitCon grant, so we can also make a big announcement, use our Twitter account, and Lucas is responsible for creating the content. So hopefully that we can get last pass in coming days and will be finished, then we can use our Twitter to make a big announcement. And also I will also try to reach out to the hackathon. Maybe we can also make a video about this to make a general introduction about design, and then yeah, about this grant.
Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, well, we have LastPass all set up, so reach out to Ryan or me, and yeah, I think I'm not sure which app it is, but it would be great to like be able to like write out the tweet thread. I think Lucas has done this already, and then submit it for like the MoonDAO Twitter, just so we can make sure that there's no like spelling, grammar mistakes, and anything like that, or like any and that it like doesn't go against like no one's saying that like, oh, pump Mooney go up, you know, which has happened before. So I wonder if we can set up anything like that. But if not in the short term, we can just give direct access into our Twitter. Yeah.
Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, Lucas is responsible also for creating content for Gitcoin grants.
Cool.
The announcement.
All right. Anything else?
Guys, check out gptforwork.com. That's it. That's my last word.
Yeah, and maybe one more thing before I forget it. I think right now it's also really important to reach out to potential partnerships for the upcoming DeSci round with Gitcoin. Yeah, we are reaching out. We are making some noise around there. Rod and I, we were also in touch with Solarpunk Guild, and I think it's really crucial if we now move forward with the AMAs, with the event planning, just onboard as many DeSci allies as possible. Then open up for any opportunity that lays ahead to promote what we do here in decentralized science to create a positive impact on our environment, right? So yeah, and I'm happy to have everyone on board. So maybe we can collectively brainstorm around this. But yeah, let's discuss this.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good. looking forward to all the Gitcoin stuff. And I love the the line of dancing that we got going on. All right, then yeah, should we close this all up?
I think so.
Cool. All right. Thanks everyone.
Pablo.
Yes.
All right. See you.